Success is the most dangerous drug in business. It makes you fat, lazy, and blind to the competition creeping up behind you. The companies that win long-term aren't the ones that celebrate victories. They're the ones that immediately start hunting for the next mountain to climb. Why do we treat success like a destination instead of fuel for the journey? Research shows that market leaders lose their position within 5 years, specifically because success breeds complacency. Your biggest risk isn't external threats. It's the internal comfort that comes with the past wins, making you forget why you won in the first place. Companies that don't systematically fight complacency drop in innovation, are slower in response time to market, and lose opportunity annually. While you're celebrating your yesterday's victories, hungry competitors are writing tomorrow's success stories. Your comfort zone is their opportunity zone. This is the close of our summer in the United States. And I had the opportunity this year to spend a great deal of time with my son, who is turning 14 this week. I couldn't be prouder of who he is and who he's becoming. But we've stepped up our vacations. In the beginning, it used to be simple vacations, go to a place and hang out. But this year, it was very different. This year, it was all about creating a experience. And I did something I haven't done in years. So in the United States, on the East Coast, there's a state called New Hampshire. And in New Hampshire, it has a tall mountain. Not tall by most standards, but on the East Coast, it's one of the taller mountains. But its unique claim to fame is it has the most severe weather ever recorded. Something like 223 miles an hour wind coming through this one mountain, because it's a mountain without anything blocking. What they've done is they've actually created the AMC, the Appalachian Mountain Club. So the Appalachian Trail is a trail that starts in Maine and goes to Georgia. And hundreds of people every year walk that trail. It's somewhere at around 2,000 miles worth of walking, and it takes a number of months. About a quarter of the way through it, on the way down from Maine to Georgia, is the White Mountains. And these are serious mountains. They have a tendency to change weather quickly, and they put huts about a day's walk apart from each one of them. So there are, I believe, 8 of them walking through. And so my son and I went up to go backpacking between the huts. Now, this is lovely, but this is a serious mountain. The day we summited Mount Washington, we had lower mountains we were climbing that had 33-mile-an-hour winds at. And at the top of the mountain on Mount Washington that day, we had 85-mile-an-hour gusts. Interestingly enough, it was clear, which is very unusual. And we could see almost 90 miles. We could actually see the ocean from the top of the mountain. But at the top of the mountain, it was 22 degrees Fahrenheit. And at the bottom of the mountain, it was 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, if you don't use American systems, warm down there, and it was below freezing above. So the change in that rapid temperature was something serious, and it is just hard mountain rock. My son's boots actually delaminated. The soles came off the boots on the second day. Now, why do I say that this is a great experience? Why do I say that this is the importance of this? And why am I spending time with you talking about it? Because we have a tendency to be complacent. Now, New Hampshire brings great memories to me. I used to guide in the White Mountains when I was in high school and in part of college. And I remember walking through the mountains and just being in peace. There's a whole study of being able to walk through nature called forest bathing, which in Japan, there's actually places that you can go to get better for various illnesses by walking and meditating in the forest. But this isn't why I went. I went for 2 reasons. First, to create an experience, and second of all, to do hard things. And that's something in our society that we don't do much anymore. We don't do the hard things. We don't step up. We're in our little comfort zone. We're in our ability to just be as comfortable as we can and not do anything more. And this is really the death knell. This is the things that if we get comfortable doing, those that are hungry will get before us. Those that are hungry will move forward. And the reason I use hunger is it's the metaphor that I came up with. So you're probably going to hear a bunch of stuff from the stories I've had. I had great times with my son, and I was able to sit and think about how we all are together and what it is to be in community, in a business, and it's how we all succeed. And the way I wrote this down is do hard things because the food tastes better. And the reason I tell you that is because we're hiking and we're climbing in hard mountains. And, one point from one hut to another was only 8 miles. And it took us 11 hours. But let me tell you, that was hard. I probably could have been in better shape. My son's boots were falling off. It was, in some ways, not the best hike we've ever done. We were carrying too much weight. We ran out of water. The boots fell apart. All of these things. But on the other hand, getting there and being able to sit down in this quiet little hut, and there are students there that are running this hut that have hiked all of the food up. It's about 2.5, 3 miles up the mountain. And the only place is this quiet sanctuary, and that they provide you a small bowl of food. The food is simple, is basic. It has been carried up by the hut crew, but it tastes so amazing. It is so good, not because it was done by a 4-star chef. It was enjoyed at a time when you had to work for it. You had to be there. And so I can remember the mushroom soup on that day smelled and tasted amazing. Some of the best food I've ever had is out in the wilderness because hunger is the best spice. And so I've been to Michelin 4-star restaurants, and I've been to the Guide Michelin restaurants in Europe and the United States, and it is good. But a simple food after a hard work day that you've earned is so much better. So this is my encouragement to you to come and do hard things. Do hard things on a regular basis. Make it part of your ethos to do hard things. And if you do, you'll start finding that they become easier. You gain confidence and competency on the things that you're working. So every quarter, I try and take up a new thing, something I'm not good at, something I could use. Sometimes it's a personal thing. This summer it was, but also it could be a business thing. It may be a new piece of software, or I may want to go deep dive into a specific area or idea or thought. Now, I was told once that by the gentleman by the name of Brendan Burchard, that you can become an expert in anything by reading about 5 books. Most people consider an expert who's read about 5 books in their industry or their area of expertise. And whether that's true or not, being able to go deep into that dive into that specific area, reading those 5 books, having a deep understanding of that can only accelerate you and can only accelerate your company. So I would encourage you to quarterly find something hard to do. I'm not going to suggest that everyone go backpacking. I'll tell you what, it was hard for me, and I learned a lot of things. I learned a lot of things about me as not a teenager anymore. I learned a lot of things about how my son interacts with difficulty. I was able to let him see me struggle. I was able to let him see me deal with conflict and deal with not a great day, and was able to model how I think I should have done that. Now, we all don't do that well, but imagine the opportunity of being able to do that quarterly with your team, with your company, with your family. Doing hard things on a regular basis builds resiliency and also keeps you at the forefront. So I'm going to encourage you, think about this for a minute. What's the hard thing that you can do? What's the hard thing that you can take on for this quarter? What 5 books could you read? What piece of software could you learn? What new ideas could you dive into to make your business or your company better? You'd be astounded how easy that becomes. It's easy to do something for a quarter. And if you take it in small bites, maybe what you do is you say, I'm going to learn a specific area and I'm going to read the 5 books. And maybe that's in 2 quarters and you read a book a month. That's not asking a lot, but it will exponentially drive not only your interest, not only your ability, but also encouraging people to do the same. And therefore staying up or above what's actually happening, not getting compliant, will also serve you. For those of you who are hungry to keep moving, do hard things. The food tastes better. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to think about one of the hard things that you did in the past and what it gained you. Put it in the comments below. I'll look forward to continuing the conversation.
Thanks for tuning into today's episode on the Strategy Session, where we take your business from stuck to unstoppable. Here's another video I think you'd enjoy. If you found these insights valuable, remember to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell for notifications on our latest videos. Remember, you're not just marketing, you're making history with Venture Gained.